Welcome to this edition of XPS Express for Employers, our regular bite-sized insights into the key issues affecting your employees' pensions. In this edition, we consider the latest guidance from the pensions regulator on superfunds. In the right circumstances, a superfund could allow an employer to discharge its pension obligations at a lower cost than a pension insurance transaction.
On the 26th of July 2024, the pensions regulator, or TPR, updated its guidance on superfunds. A superfund is a pensions vehicle which allows a sponsor to settle their defined benefit pension liabilities. The superfund will then take responsibility for paying members' benefits. It's similar to an insurance buyout, but with a lower level of capital and therefore a lower cost. Superfunds have been around for a few years now as a concept, but have remained untested until the past 12 months, when there have been two superfund transactions, both with Clara, a superfund provider. TPR's updated guidance demonstrates its commitments to making superfunds a viable alternative to buyout, as long as it can be demonstrated that a transfer to a superfund is in best interest of members. TPR have provided some gateway criteria to help frame how to assess this, and the sponsor and trustees need to be comfortable that these criteria are met before a transaction can take place. The level of scheme assets needed for a superfund transaction typically is around 85 to 95% of the buyout premium. Depends a bit on the scheme profile. So for employers seeking to settle their defined benefit obligations, where it can be demonstrated that it is in members' best interests, a superfund now is a viable alternative to buyout, particularly in the context of a very busy buyout market. There was a record 50 billion of transactions completed in 2023. The latest guidance from TPR reiterates their commitment to having a functioning superfund market. In particular, it gives much more clarity to superfund providers around the profit extraction, which should enable them to give better pricing and potentially will allow other types of superfund provider to emerge. In terms of the providers in the market, Clara are currently the only provider with approval from the pensions regulator to carry out transactions. So Clara now completed two transactions, the 600 million Sears scheme in November 2023 and the similarly sized Debenhams one in March 2024. Clara's intention is in the coming years to carry out many more transactions, including potentially a couple more in 2024 and around 5 billion of transactions in 2025. So what actions should employers take now that this new superfund guidance has been published? Well, firstly, you should consider the different paths available for your scheme. This could be settling liabilities with an insurer or a superfund, or potentially running on over time. You need to decide which of these paths is best for your scheme and for your business. If superfunds are an option, you should consider the scheme against the TPR's gateway criteria. To help with this, XPS has developed a tool to assess the scheme against the gateway criteria. And if these are met, the next stage would be to engage with the trustees to make sure your interests are aligned, and then to approach the superfund market to seek a transaction price.
I hope you found this edition of XPS Express helpful. Please do get in touch if you'd like to discuss this further.